Minister, last night at the Fianna Fáil Parliamentary Party meeting, speaker after speaker stood up and spoke about the need for a universal childcare system and for us to start the journey of doing that. And I would ask you to outline to the House the steps that you intend to take to put that in place in this forthcoming budget, but over the lifetime of the budget, because it makes such a significant impact in the lives of children.
Thank you. On Paddy.
Thanks very much, Deputy. And obviously, I'm not going to give the budget secrets out today, as I'm sure you'll understand. But look, I know we've engaged, yourself and myself have engaged extensively on this. And as I've discussed with other deputies earlier today, my department is currently investing £638 million in early learning and childcare. This amounts to about 60% of the total income of the sector. And obviously, most of the rest of the income comes from parental fees. And that investment of £638 million in 2021 is distinct from the funding that early learning and childcare employers can access under the EWSS, the Employment Wage Subsidy Scheme. And as you know, the sector is exempt from having to prove the 30% reduce in turnover rule. I was able to negotiate that extension for them. And during COVID, each month, that exemption has represented an additional €34 million per month investment in the sector. Programme for Government commits us to First Five, commits us to that target of €1 billion being invested per year by 2028. And I've noted that in order for that additional investment, that additional public investment to work, we have to have greater public management. And that's why we've had the expert group researching how we can link more money invested with better outcomes for parents, for children, for providers and for childcare professionals as well. So the expert group has been researching this issue. It'll be bringing its report to my department in November of this year, and I'm looking forward to receiving it. I have been engaging with the group since I came into this office. I'd have a sense of where their recommendations are going to end up, and they certainly have inspired my budget bid to the Minister for Public Expenditure this year. So I don't want to, I suppose, speculate on the exact construction of the final recommendation from the expert group, but I know it is made up of national and international experts, and they very much looked around the rest of Europe and further in terms of what models actually work to ensure that public investment is combined with public management to get those really important outcomes for children.
To give away the budget secrets, but it's good to hear the trajectory in which you are on. I suppose the proof of the pudding will be in budgets in years to come, because you're right, significant investment is being made, but significant more investment needs to be made also. The employer wage subsidy scheme in the childcare sector gave us a taste. It gave us a taste of what a significant state investment in the staffing costs of childcare providers could provide, and I welcome the extension of it. In fact, I would like to see it extended further until we do have other arrangements in place. But you're right, we do also need to have the management and governance, and I think the community childcare model is the place to start with that. You very kindly met with several different childcare providers in my constituency from Ballymun and Finglas, a range of different types of providers using different types of models, and what was very clear was that negotiating that patchwork quilt of different schemes for different sectors is a nightmare. And what we need to do is move to a model that's far simpler and far more targeted at those areas that need those resources.
Thank you, Deputy, for arranging that meeting with some of the providers in your constituencies. So we had a good online engagement. I met them face to face on Tuesday outside the Dáil when they were part of that process, and we had another really useful conversation. And those are really useful for me in terms of understanding the real-life implications of the policy decisions we make in the department. So I really value those engagements. But the trajectory, you're right, the trajectory is really important. And obviously, budget this year will be a demonstrator of that trajectory. But I do think it's just important to look at what we've done during COVID as, I think, hopefully building good faith with the sector in terms of those EWSS supports you've outlined, but also in terms of other things we've done. And again, relating to that idea of public management. So setting up the JLC, something that had been called for years. We've started that process. We've also we're also well advanced in work on the workforce development plan, so new people coming into the sector can see a clear career pathway for themselves.